Michael Reardon, thank you for joining us on New Mexico in Focus.
Thank you very much for having us. It's great to be here and representing the city of Albuquerque.
So, Michael, there's tremendous pushback right now from some quarters around ART, the transit project. And people have some real concerns, and as we tape, a judge is hearing a lawsuit that seeks to halt construction on the project. I think people want to know, why is the city pursuing a pretty aggressive construction schedule on this?
First, I'd like to say it is a vocal minority that seems to be opposed to the project. They are well-funded, so they do have a significant amount of high-profile businesses on their side. But we have over 4,000 signatures of people that support the project. Another, the top 10 of who's who of the Greater Chamber of Commerce, the Hispano Chamber of Commerce, the Realtors Association, people that really understand how important a BRT system is for the city of Albuquerque. So while there is some negative, and I've never built a project without opposition, we have a strong base of support as well.
Although a recent poll had like 80% of the survey respondents were interested in having this go to a vote.
Right. It was a poll that was done on a holiday weekend with landlines only. So that's not necessarily the demographic that's going to support BRT. It was a very limited poll of, I think, 1,000 to 2,000 people, and they used 400 of that, which wasn't demonstrative of our population. And while we'll accept every poll and we'll look at it and not want to dismiss it, it really wasn't a good cross-sectional of our community and the support that the project has.
Why does the city think this project now is the right way to go? Why is it so important to you all?
It's important because it's been a long time coming. The first time that we looked at this was in late 1990s. 2002, that time frame, where it was determined that Central Avenue was the mass transit corridor for the city of Albuquerque. That was going to be the spine of our network. And that was figured out by many administrations ago, many city councils ago, that was important. The first reaction to that was adding Rapid Ride to Central Avenue. And that had its opposition. You already have a local route on 66. What do you need a Rapid Ride for? Well, when that went in, we saw ridership double within the first couple of years of having a Rapid Ride system in. Now, 13 years later, after Rapid Ride was in, we're ready for that next level of mass transportation in Central Avenue. The Rapid Ride buses are at the end of their useful life. They all have more than 500,000 miles on them. We have to buy new buses anyway. When the mayor was planning for that in 2011 timeframe, he asked some independent people to come in and look at what was the next logical step for transportation, mass transit in our city. And that was determined by regional experts and national experts that BRT was the best plan for Central Avenue.
But why is Central in particular? Why not like Lomas Avenue, which also has a lot of the same sort of businesses like UNM and nearby hospitals that you're trying to link people with employers? Why not look at Lomas as a possibility?
That's one of the questions we asked early. Lomas does not have the density nor the ability to grow that Central Avenue does. Everyone thinks Central Avenue is already built out, but we have over 60 acres of undeveloped property along Central Avenue. It really does connect much more of our amenities than Lomas. Lomas ends up tying into Central Avenue anyway and then going over to the west side. So while Lomas was a potential, it was determined that Central Avenue, because it is our spine, that's where all of our north-south other bus routes tie into and connect to. It's got more of our destinations than Lomas does. And because it does serve both sides of the river and be able to connect us as a community, it was determined that. And on Central Avenue, we've had transit on that corridor since the 1880s. And we just simply cannot build any more lanes to handle more vehicles. We have to change the mode of transportation on Central somewhat to give people more options, because you can't be knocking down businesses and building wider lanes.
In terms of building up more on Central, transit-oriented development is a big hallmark of successful mass transit projects, creating density, creating mixed use. So how are you guys planning for that? Are you buying land around the stops to plan for that kind of development?
It's a great question, and what the mayor's theory is you make the public investment and the private investment will come around you. And that's what's shown. So when independent people, the NAIOPs of the world,
that's the commercial real estate trade
commercial
group.
real estate group in town, and also the Center for Neighborhood Technologies both studied this. Based on development, or the ART line alone, NAIOP came with about $1 billion of net economic activity.
They anticipate that if you build this, that's going to bring that much private activity
in. Now, the CNT, where they went one step further, is they said, okay, just with the ART line itself, with existing businesses that NAIOP did, if you add the TOD in and the ability to change our development ordinances that allow that type of development, we could see upwards of almost $3 billion of net economic activity into Albuquerque. And no other project that anybody, opposition or supporters, have ever presented to the city has the potential to bring that type of impact to our community.
Can you be sure of those projections?
They're projections, and they're independent ones, so it's not like we're making them up to enhance the project. That was part of the due diligence of the study. That information came out. So while we can question them, they're based on real numbers that we have now and projected growth. And other communities that have put these type of systems in have seen that type of growth. Cleveland had almost $6 billion in economic activity based on their line alone.
So, but in terms of you have to do stuff to plan for that. Like you have to have the right zoning in place. You might have to like consolidate land around the stops to attract that kind of private investment. How are you guys addressing that?
In two ways. One, a lot of the stops are based on areas that already have developed around that. So some of the businesses that might be in opposition to it, I think are going to be very thankful that they have a stop outside their door, bringing that many people right outside of their doorstep every now and then. And then the places that don't have the development yet, it's changing that type of the zoning that's allowed there. One example that's already going in is called the Carlisle. It's at Carlisle, the Carlisle condominiums, Carlisle and Central. They're building a mixed-use development based primarily on a customer that will use an ART type system. So they don't have much parking there. It's going to be a live, work, play. People that want to be there, not have to own a car and travel up and down Central. So even before the project's in, some developers are going through and making that type of development policy change to how they're constructing along Central.
So opponents right now are trying to get 14,000 signatures on the ballot to put this to a vote in November. What happens if they succeed?
This is a little unprecedented because it is very late in the game. Typically, there's two ways for the city to be able to bond money against itself. Either the city council passes it by a super majority, 7 votes or more, and the mayor approves that, or you have a referendum through the city. We've never had it where a council passes something and then we get signatures to do a referendum against that. So according to legal department, you can't undo a council action. They'd have to undo it themselves, and we could continue to move forward.
You could continue to move forward even if it goes on the ballot?
Yes.
Okay.
At that point, it was almost like where the red light cameras were. Mm-hmm. It was a question at that time. It was, do you want them or not? It was the vote by the public was a suggestion at that time. It wasn't going to kill the program. The council still had to act on that vote.
I see.
And kill red light cameras.
So the vote alone wouldn't be binding.
Correct, because there's already an action to put the bonding in place. We already have a bill that says approve and authorize the Small Starts Grant for this project. We already have a vote that says there's $20 million of local money appropriated for this project. We already have a vote that says there's $50 million of other federal money that's into the project. So really the only money that could be affected, I guess, would be a referendum on the Small Starts Grant, but again, that's already been approved by council as well.
Okay. All right, well, Michael Reardon, thank you for coming and talking with us about this.
Absolutely, thanks for having me in. Appreciate it.